All right, so let me explain something real quick about the rehabilitation from death site and everything, YouTube page. I also am on IG with a little bit of something, but this is basically my journey back, from the ultimate injury of death. You know, um, April 23rd, I'm in the gym, you know. And keep in mind, I went to my doctor on April 9th because I wasn't breathing well, and she said it was nothing really to worry about and stuff like that. Could be allergies, could be asthma, but it's not exercise-induced asthma because it'll produce itself by now. It could be, allergic to something, but whatever I'm allergic to, I'm going to be exposed to. So that was kind of it. And then, I think that's April 9th, April 24th, going to cardiac arrest. And so on April 23rd, I was actually in the gym. And I told my doctor, too, that, hey, if I lift weights, I'm okay. But if I try to walk, man, I'm just get tired really fast. So these things that I told my doctor and stuff. My left leg was swollen, so I had a lot of signs and symptoms of, blood clots, and that's what it ended up being was blood clots and, pulmonary embolism and things like that. So, so to go from things I was doing just a couple of days before to cardiac arrest was like, yo. So the last thing I remember is telling someone I can't breathe, and then I wake up in ICU, and even my first response was when they told me I was in ICU. My sister was there, and I'm like, I'm in ICU, and she's laughing like, yeah, you in ICU, dude. I had no clue what had happened, So once they started filling me on the stories about how it went into cardiac arrest because of the blood clots, the pulmonary embolism, that I had chest compression for 45 minutes, 8 heart restarts, and I was on a ventilator for 24, 25, 26 hours, somewhere around there, and everything. And the percentage, it was very low, less than 10% of chance of me walking out of the hospital and everything. And I remember when I first came through, they would ask me about my ribs, how my ribs are fine. They thought I had 3 or 4 broken ribs. I didn't have any broken ribs. They thought I might have brain damage. No brain damage. You know, but then later on, tests about my kidneys show that from my blood work the previous year, kidneys filtering fine, and now it shows my kidneys. I'm at stage 3B. So I'm at 3B, which is it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad and stuff like that. From the blood work and a little bit liver may be damaged. So that's what we were looking at and stuff. you know. And so this is the journey back, as I change diet and start exercising again. When I first tried to walk to the bathroom, it like felt like the floor was mushy, like I really couldn't sense my weight and things like that, and dates, I think Golden State and Houston were at 1-1 in a basketball series. And when I woke up, it was 2-1. I'm thinking, like, where the other, I'm like 2-1, So those 2 days, I still struggle with that. I still struggle with the loss of those days and things like that. Sunday, I may think, like, what day? I lose track of it. So things are weird, So this has been going on and stuff. So, movement and everything, it's been hard. So I've been slowly getting back into it. My chest was really hurting me, my sternum. I mean, when I first tried to get out of bed, man, it was tough. And you start learning about, some of these things people say about core. Man, crazy. I remember the first time my ribs started working again, where I could breathe again and everything. It's just been a crazy journey. So this is me, putting it out there and everything about my journey back to being somewhat of an athlete, because right now it's crazy and terrible. So, but keep that in mind. This is what this is about. My journey back from the ultimate injury, which is death and everything. So have fun.